What is going on, Griddle Nation? It is that time of year, 'tis the season, well, we're sliding in to that season.
It's the pre-season.
That we are getting ready for the festive brunches, lunches, and dinners with all the family. So, the Griddle Pros decided to get all of our heads together, and we wanted to throw out our best side dishes for you, the Griddle Nation, to be able to have in your arsenal to take on your way to your next dinner. Might be at your house, might be at your family's house, or your friend's house. Either way.
Make some of these for mom if you want to impress.
Oh yeah, we've got some goodies. You are going to love it. Let us show you how we like to do it.
Carrots. They're one of my family's favorite side dishes, one that we can all agree on. We enjoy them so many different ways, but smother them in bourbon, brown sugar, butter, and bacon, and it's a little taste of heaven that I know you guys are gonna love. They're so simple and perfect for any weekday dinner side dish, but bougie enough for your next holiday dinner. You guys are gonna love these. I've got my Blackstone left side started on high heat. This way it can heat up our pan since this has a nice glaze to this. We need something to collect all of that sauce. On my right side of my Blackstone, I have my burners set off for just right now. This way I can drop down my bacon onto a cold or slightly warm griddle. This way it cooks nice and flat. We'll drop down half a pound of bacon on that side and then turn these burners on to low and allow that to slowly cook. To our saucepan, we're gonna melt 1 whole stick of unsalted butter. Once that starts to bubble, we're gonna add 2 pounds of carrots. Now we're gonna let these carrots cook for about 5 minutes in this butter, making sure that we keep an eye on our bacon and flipping it once it's halfway cooked through. Our bacon is done. We're gonna remove this, allow it to rest on some paper towels. We are gonna steal some of that bacon fat left behind on our griddle, adding that to our carrots. Once our 5 minutes is up, we're adding half a cup of bourbon to our carrots and allow that alcohol to cook out. Our carrots are getting nice and tender. Right about now is when I add about half a cup of light brown sugar. This creates a nice thickened glaze. I'm gonna add a little pop of freshness with some fresh thyme leaves. Let them get into that glaze and infuse everything with that beautiful flavor of thyme. We'll jump over to our bacon, give this a chop. It's nice and crunchy. This adds such a beautiful texture to this dish. Now our carrots are done. Time to plate this up. We go for a nice serving platter, pile up our carrots, and then spoon over this delicious glaze. It's so good. You're gonna want to eat it by the spoonful. We top it off with our crunchy, crispy, little chopped up bacon pieces, some extra fresh thyme, finishing it with some crunchy little flaky sea salt crystals. These are gorgeous. It's sweet, it's savory, it's salty, and I just know you guys are gonna love this any time of the year, but especially at your next holiday dinner. You guys are gonna love these.
We all have that family member that says they don't like Brussels sprouts. Well, this one is gonna change their mind. I'm gonna show you Brussels sprouts with a black pepper honey. It's very simple. I'm gonna start with a bit of pancetta. Think of it like a really elegant bacon. Get that nice and crispy. I've got a bit of red onion and some Brussels sprouts. Now don't go overboard on your knife skills. Just cut them in half, make them look nice, and do enough for the whole family. That's a nice thing about doing this dish. You could do a lot in a very short period of time. Once your pancetta is nice and crispy, move it over to the cooler side of your griddle and throw down the Brussels sprouts and the onion. Make sure to toss it in all of that glorious pork fat. This is really where the magic starts to happen. All those flavors start to come together. Salt and pepper goes a long way. Don't overthink your seasoning. The flavor from the pancetta fat's gonna add a ton of deliciousness. While that's cooking, let's get to our black pepper honey, which is just as easy as it sounds. I'm starting with some honey, and I'm gonna add a considerable amount of black pepper. Now, don't be afraid, the peppery, sweet combo, we're gonna play with each other really, really nice. And if you want to, I love the trick of adding just a bit of chopped parsley. When you mix it up, it looks like stained glass. It's so, so stunning. It's like all of these things together make a really elegant garnish. Once your Brussels are done, grab all that pancetta and mix it all back in, and we're done. Time to plate, it's that easy. So we're gonna put that in like family style, right? It's a Thanksgiving table. We want our side dishes to be shareable. Garnish with the black pepper honey. This 100% will change anyone's mind who says they don't like Brussels sprouts.
Believe it or not, I absolutely love okra.
Get out of here.
Technically not a vegetable. Look it up, you decide.
Also get out of here.
But one of the key components to this delicious recipe I'm gonna show you is that you gotta have fresh okra. Do not buy it in the can, do not buy it frozen, you need fresh okra. It'll be in your produce section. like a canned okra. Yeah, it's like canned corn. You want fresh, that's key to this. So what we wanna do is slice these right down the middle. So get yourself a nice sharp knife. A sharp knife? A nice sharp knife. You wanna slice these all the way down the middle and get them back in your bowl. This is key. We want to expose those seeds because we're gonna get a nice toasting on those. Now to that, gonna drizzle some olive oil, gonna be pretty generous with a dusting of the smoked paprika. If you've never had smoked paprika, it is fantastic. Also, we've got some garlic powder and a hefty amount of salt and coarse black pepper. Give that a toss and get ready to go on your Blackstone. Now here's another key component. You want your griddle screaming hot, so crank it to stun all the way up on high at a light amount of olive oil, and then get your okra face down on the griddle.
Pro move right there.
This is pro. You want it face down because that's where you're gonna get that sear. Now for a special sauce, into a bowl, we've got some Duke's Mayo. I'm also gonna be doing some Blackstone Cajun Country, some Blackstone Lemon Peppercorn, a little bit of smoked paprika.
Yeah, a little bit.
And some garlic powder.
Looks good.
Whatever order you find it in. Add a touch of lime juice to thin that out. Get that set aside. Now put all of your okra into a big, large, family-style platter. Drizzle some of that special sauce. Top that off with a little bit of chopped parsley. And my friends, you are going to impress anybody and everybody
who doesn't
this
like okra.
holiday season.
Thanksgiving is typically all about the turkey, but here it's all about the sides. And today we're gonna make an awesome sweet potato side dish for your Thanksgiving dinner or lunch on the Blackstone Griddle. All right, buddies, let's get started with these sweet potatoes. To a pre-warmed griddle on low heat, we're gonna add a good chunk of butter. This is about a tablespoon of butter. Now take your sweet potatoes and put those right on that butter. Toss those sweet potatoes around, get a little bit of that butter love all over those sweet potatoes. And then we're gonna add about a teaspoon of salt to those potatoes. Mix that around. Take your dome, any kind of dome, and get some water. And we're gonna squirt the water right onto the sweet potatoes. This is gonna create a lot of steam. It's gonna help cook the sweet potatoes. And now after about 3 minutes, take a look at these. Now we're gonna take our Blackstone thermometer, not really gonna take the temperature, but we are checking for doneness. It's still got some firmness to it, and they're gonna need probably another 3 minutes or so. Same thing, gonna put some water back here, create that steam, create that convection, put our dome back on. We'll check back on them in about 3 minutes. It's been another 3 minutes, guys. Let's see where these potatoes are at now. We're gonna give those a good mix. Same thing as last time, and it's starting to probe very tender. We are good to go. Now to our potatoes, we're gonna take some brown sugar. Let's drizzle some honey on these potatoes. Oh my goodness. Next, we're gonna add a little bit more butter, and then we're gonna come in and dash this with some cinnamon. Now we're just gonna give this a nice toss. Now to really make things good, we'll come in with some maple syrup. And to just round these off, we're gonna chop up some pecans. How do you say pecans? Pecan? Pecan? Give those a good little toss. After everything's combined, let's get these sweet potatoes off onto our serving platter. To finish these off, we are going to drizzle honey right over the top of these potatoes. Chop a few of these pecans up and put those on top. And man, you have got a side dish for side dishes. Aunt Helen's gonna be thrilled.
My holiday side dish this year, autumn fruit salad. Want to give all the credit to my sister-in-law, Amanda. She's been making this and bringing it to family gatherings for over a decade. I've adapted this recipe for the Blackstone pizza oven, but if you're making this in the house, just use Corningware or Pyrex. We're starting with a bunch of canned fruit, and I drained it, saving the juice until later. 2 cans of pears, chop them up into the desired size. In with 2 cans of pears, 2 cans of peaches. I diced these up off camera. I gotta look before I grab them in the store. I got 1 crushed and 1 pineapple chunk, so I think chunk is probably the size that you actually want. The crushed, that's fine, it's gonna taste good today. It's nice to have different sizes since I have big pineapple chunks. It actually works out that I had smaller pieces of peach and pear. 1 heaping cup of dried cranberry. Stir the fruit, try to get it evenly incorporated. Then I have a cup of brown sugar. The original instructions called for more than a cup. Amanda actually downgraded it and said that, no, I think we can get by with a cup or so. You can probably go with less as well. So if you want more sugar, go more. If you want less, go less. 2 teaspoons of ground cinnamon, a 1/2 teaspoon of allspice, and a teaspoon tablespoon of ginger. We'll mix that up or whisk it up and sprinkle your dry ingredients on top. I'm using a cast iron skillet today, which is part of me modifying this for the pizza oven. You don't want to use Pyrex or any type of a glass container in the pizza oven. Blackstone pizza oven, about 450, 475 degrees, anywhere between 400 and 500 degrees. Be careful, you might want to use gloves. Turn on the rotating stone. The original recipe says cook it in the oven indoors, 350 degrees for about 30 minutes. I found that if you have your pizza oven on low, probably going to take somewhere around 25 minutes or so. This is what it looks like about 12 minutes in. It's been about 25 minutes or so, just like promised. I'm using my Blackstone gloves. Be very, very careful. Oh my goodness. Autumn fruit salad. Take a look at that. I recommended saving the juice because occasionally we've made this where I cooked all the juice out, and if that is the case, you could simply add a little more of the extra fruit juice on top. Either way, it's an absolutely outstanding side dish, and it's been a favorite around our holiday meals for a long time.
I mean, really, all of those dishes are delicious, stunning, beautiful, especially mine.
Of course you
I
do
like
that.
to think so. But seriously, make sure you give these a try. But even if you don't, no matter what, from Blackstone and all of the Griddle Pros, we want to wish you a very happy Thanksgiving. Also,
Those are pretty good.
do make mine,
I'll
because
say, they're
it's awesome.
phenomenal.